Wyoming Senator John Barrasso is part of the Republican Senate leadership. He's on Capitol Hill. Senator, good to see you. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks so much for having me. Good morning.
If there's a deal today, why would you vote to extend tax cuts if there are no new spending cuts?
Well, that's the exact thing. The real problem is the spending. If they want to raise taxes, and the president promised in the campaign he wanted to do that, it was to pay down on the deficit. There is no evidence of any of that, and that is a major sticking point. So the Democrats are divided on tax rates, on the death tax, and on taxes on small business, and the Republicans are holding firm that you actually have to deal with the #1 problem in our nation, which is the spending, our debt.
So, Senator, the Senate is reconvening this morning. How close are we actually to some kind of a deal here?
Well, I'm hoping that we get an arrangement and an agreement because the American people deserve certainty. But what we ought to do is put a bill on the Senate floor and let people actually offer amendments and vote on them. You know, we shouldn't be here waiting for people to cut deals in back rooms. The American people ought to be able to watch the discussion and the debate and how people vote on various issues of the death tax, tax rates, and how the money is going to be used. Because that's the big question. How are they going to use the money?
Senator, we heard President Obama say in an interview that if Congress can't get anything done and we go over the fiscal cliff, that Plan D essentially is to have another vote on January 4th when the new Congress comes in, and that would just be a straight up or down vote on extending tax cuts for middle class families making up to $250,000 a year. Do you think that's what happens?
Well, I'm hoping that we resolve this today to give the American people some certainty. The president doesn't seem too eager to actually get involved and find solutions to deal with the #1 problem facing our country. If you do what the president has just proposed there and raise taxes on those folks, it helps fund the government for 7 days. It doesn't deal with our fundamental spending problem in this country. But bottom line is the president's the only one with a pen who can sign into law something, and he ought to be very involved with making sure that he gets something that he will sign that will pass both a Republican-controlled House and a Democrat-controlled Senate.
Senator, I mean, there's been a lot of finger pointing, and we've been hearing this for some time now. And I think a lot of people are looking for some kind of a deal and some kind of agreement down there. There are, in fact, 535 of you down there. I mean, Senator Joe Manchin, the Democrat of West Virginia, said, I believe yesterday, something has gone terribly wrong when the biggest threat to our American economy is the American Congress. We know there's a recession looming here. If this doesn't get done, why isn't it getting done?
Yeah. And I agree with Senator Manchin. Republicans and Democrats have been talking on the floor of the Senate. I would say to Harry Reid, bring a bill to the floor of the Senate and let's start voting. Quit trying to cut deals behind closed doors. Get to the floor of the Senate. Let the American people see the discussion. But as your opening report said this morning on this show, it seems like the president is handcuffing Harry Reid from even bringing a bill to the floor now. The president is, I believe, slowing down the process, not helping.
Senator Barrasso, thanks.
Thanks so much for having me.